Hello fellow travelers, welcome to SD Traveler, and today is part 2 out of a 3-part series for my New Zealand trip back in 2018. In the last video I talked about the camper van, what to expect, who to go through, my recommendations, and what happened. And today I'm going to be talking about tours, gas prices, and food prices. So probably one of the most important things that you're going to want to have whenever you do go to New Zealand is obviously going to be food. Food is a really important source, especially if we're going to be staying in a camper van and you're going to be cooking your own meals, which it's going to be a lot cheaper if you do it that way than going out to restaurants every night and paying for someone else to cook your food and serve it to you and all the other fun stuff. Of course, if you do like to eat at restaurants and go out and have an experience while you're in another country, then, you know, do what you gotta do if you really feel that it's necessary. For me personally, to save some money, I decided that I was gonna cook in the camper van about 95% of the time. So I actually went to grocery stores to go and buy my food. The main grocery store line is called Countdown, and the prices there are actually not that bad. They're pretty reasonable. I actually still have a bunch of the receipts from my trip. A lot of the stuff is pretty well priced. Like for a bag of 400 grams of cheese, it was like $5.90. For seasoning, it was like $2. For chicken, like a whole pack of chicken, it was like $5. All these prices are really reasonable whenever you actually decide to cook in your camper van. And your camper van does come with everything you need to actually be able to cook. It's got a stove, a refrigerator so that you can leave leftovers in the fridge, and it also has all the utensils you need, like pots, pans, dishes, and silverware, which is really nice. So my actual total for probably buying food, which when I look at the receipts, it comes to right around $130. But if I had to really estimate on actually going to a grocery store and buying things, I would probably put it right around $200. And that's in New Zealand currency. I rounded up that way because I think that there might have been 1 or 2 receipts that got lost somewhere and I just didn't keep them, or I might have told the clerk that I didn't want a receipt. Either way, I would round it up to right around $200, which, to be honest with you, is not a lot of money when it comes to cooking your own food. There were occasions where I did go out and I had to go and like actually have food at a restaurant or a cafe, which a lot of the time it was a coffee shop. Now, the most expensive thing, if you are a coffee drinker, and this is legitimate, is coffee is super expensive over there. For a large, they want like $6 to $7 in their currency. If you're paying in like their actual money, then that can be actually quite a lot, and it adds up pretty quickly, especially if you are like me and you need to have like at least 1 coffee a day to keep yourself functioning. And so for that was kind of frustrating. The camper van didn't come with anything to really help to make your own coffee. It didn't come with filters. It didn't come with an actual like coffee pot. The only thing that they provided was an actual teapot, which is nice, but unfortunately I'm not a tea person, so that didn't really help me in the long run. It kind of just put a damper on my mood and made me realize that I was actually going to have to walk into town every time I wanted to get a coffee. The reason I say it's so expensive is because for a large coffee, it was around $6 or $7. And the $6 or $7 was for a coffee that was about this size. That's their large. That's crazy, you know? Especially if you're in the United States, large is like this in the US, but in New Zealand, it's this. So in terms of like food and restaurants and things like that, if you really are one of those people that really wants to travel but you're looking for ways to save money, I highly recommend that if you can cook cook. Like, do it. Don't be afraid. Yeah, you're in another country, but the prices are actually not too bad over there in those terms. For me personally, like, I'm always on a budget whenever I'm traveling, so if, you know, I had to cook and I'm not really used to it, then that's probably something that I wouldn't consider. But then again, if you're okay with getting out of your comfort zone and trying to learn how to do new things, then I would definitely recommend doing that. If you're traveling with friends that know how to cook, then definitely have them like show you, so that in the future, if you travel by yourself, then you know how to do those things. It's a lot of trial and error, but in the long run, it's going to save you a ton of money. A lot of the recipes that I ended up using are actually recipes that I kind of just threw together. Some things that I actually did make at home, I was able to make while I was in New Zealand, but unfortunately, one of the things that doesn't come with the camper van is an oven. So you have to kind of learn how to make certain things that you do in the oven on a stovetop, which was slightly challenging, but it was worth it. And I definitely think it made me appreciate more that kind of camp style sort of vibe. I was able to be anywhere I wanted to be and be able to cook and provide for myself and be able to wash dishes and have that moment where I was like, yeah, like, I can do this. I can provide for myself. I don't have to have anybody there with me to be able to do things, which was super nice to have. So if you are comfortable with that sort of thing and you don't care about going to restaurants or having to eat out every night or going to find some fast food place and you want to be healthier and you want to be cheaper, definitely go in that direction and cook in your camper van. That's highly recommended. And I quite enjoyed it, and I learned a lot from that experience. Next, I'm going to talk about one of my least favorite things of all, and I think a lot of you guys can agree, is gas. Oh, gas. Now, in New Zealand, it is actually cheaper for you to have a diesel vehicle than it is to have one that just runs on regular gas. Don't know why. I think it's because they get better mileage than they do with the gas car, so they actually have lowered the prices over there quite a bit. But of course, if you're not used to paying what they pay, then that can be quite startling if you have never been to another country that has such high gas prices. Over here, to fill my gas tank, it probably is around $34 to $40. Over there, to fill up a camper van, it costed me right around $87.42. $87 to fill up a gas tank, and that wasn't even with an empty tank. That was with 2/3 of it gone. With a completely empty tank, it probably costed me right around $105 and some change. And to be honest, the first time I had driven up to the gas station, I was freaking out because over there they have different metrics than we do, so I wasn't used to seeing it. I didn't really understand it. I'm not good at math, guys. I'm not any good at it. So for me to go up to the gas station, fill up my tank, and see the price on the actual screen itself, I was like, this is, you gotta be kidding. Like, this is a lie. Like, something's going on. The machine's being weird. And they don't do cards over there, so you fill up and then you go pay. So you walk in and then you pay. And I was talking to one of the clerks and I said, your gas prices are ridiculous. How do you get around? And he said, well, most of the time it's on bike. Okay, but that really sucks if you want to actually go places and you want to drive around the island. And it doesn't look like on the map that it's very big, but to be honest with you, the island is actually really big. It takes forever to get anywhere, and that's mostly because you're on mountain road. You're not on any like real flat surface for a long period of time, so that actually adds to you burning up more gas, and you kind of have to slow down at certain places, which again, I mean, that can save you some, but you're still using quite a bit to get around the island and to go places. And if you want to go between the North and the South Island, you have to take a ferry to get across, and it took me right around like maybe 8 or 9 hour drive to get from Wanaka up to the actual port itself. And that is just, you know, that's already a lot. That's like just getting past Atlanta from where we are here. To get to Atlanta, it's like 6 hours, and it's quite a lot. And for me, I don't have to refill my tank because I get such good mileage until I get past Atlanta. But I'll tell you what, prices over there are extremely high. So if you plan to be over there, definitely stay at campgrounds where you can walk into the actual town itself, because it's going to save you a lot of money. It's going to save you so much time and effort, and it's good for you to actually get out and to walk instead of driving everywhere. So I highly recommend, if you're going to be staying anywhere in New Zealand, try and stay near a town if that's what you would like to do, to be able to go and do things and see things and shop and everything. I recommend at least staying in a town for 3 to 4 days so that you can actually walk into town and save some gas, and then it won't be as expensive on your end. Another thing to really keep in mind is tours. Tours over there are a little expensive, and this has to play on gas. While I was over there, we were on the Milford Sound tour, which is absolutely beautiful. If you haven't seen my video, just basically like a little music video with all the scenery, definitely go check it out. Milford Sound is a place that isn't touched by humans. The only thing that they allow is for you to get on a boat and you see the land from the water. You can't actually walk on that land. Nobody lives there. It's a big national park. If you do the tour, then you take a bus. It's about a 3-hour drive. They stop at all these places, souvenir shops and things like that, and they let you see the wildlife, get off the bus, stretch your legs. They do like 20 to 30 minutes at each place. And then once you actually get to Milford Sound, you get on the bus, and you get on the boat, and it's about a 2-hour boat ride. The 2-hour boat ride is really cool because they provide you with lunch. They provide you with all 360-degree views of what you're looking at. You can sit outside and really enjoy the breeze, and you get to go out into the ocean, and you get this view that you would never see if you didn't take that chance. So for Milford Sound, with the prices being the way they were, I probably paid $180 in their currency, which if you translate it into our currency, it's not too bad. But over there right now, they are actually having gas wars. And the prices of tours would have been super cheap if the gas companies weren't messing around with each other. From what I understand, and this is from our tour guide from Milford Sound at the time, and this was back in October of 2018, so I don't know if it's different now. It's been about 6 months since then. The way he explained it is there are only 2 gas companies on the islands, and both of them are actually going back and forth on a war. What has happened is one gas company has said, oh, I can raise my prices because we get a lot of tourism, so I'm going to raise them. The other gas company goes, oh, okay, well, I'm going to raise mine too because now I need to match this guy, and since this guy did it, it's okay. So they've been doing that for 6 months, just raising prices back and forth on each other. It's not an import issue in any way or form. It's literally 2 gas companies that are at war that just want to keep raising prices because they want to keep making bank. And the people that go over there that decide that they want to do vacation are only there for like a week up to a month. And so they don't care. Nobody cares about the gas prices over there because they don't have to deal with it because they don't live there. Now, for the people that do live there, it's become more and more apparent that it's becoming harder to actually live in New Zealand. Things are starting to get kind of crazy on the gas prices and actually the house prices as well, because they're trying to build modern homes and then they want to sell those modern homes for 3 times the price that they're actually worth, because it's on a piece of land that everybody wants. So of course they think that the more they do that, the better the economy will get. Well, not really. Now it's mostly foreigners that are moving into their home and are taking over New Zealand, and so the people that you actually meet over there are going to be mostly people that are from Australia or China, and so in that case it just kind of gets a little out of hand, and you're not actually going to meet a lot of people that are from New Zealand and still live in New Zealand. It's a really unfortunate circumstance, but that is what is happening over there, or at least it was in 2018. I don't know how things are now, but I do hope to go back there in 2020 and stay there for a longer period of time, and then I can even, let you guys know how that has changed. But for right now, from what I understand, the gas prices just keep going up because the two companies are literally fighting each other, which is, it's so dumb. So because of that, it's also raised tour prices. And from what our tour guide had said, the tour prices used to be half of what they costed at that time. And they keep raising them because it's getting more and more expensive for gas. And of course, you have to have gas to get where you're going. So they keep raising. So my recommendation to you guys, if you're going to do a lot of tours, is don't use their currency. Use your card. And I mean that in all shape, way, and form. Take your credit card, make sure that you call your bank before you leave and let them know, and use your card. It's going to help you so much. The price over there, it's almost half if you use the US currency, and every place that you go to is going to give you that option to select that US currency so that you're not paying their prices, which I think was something that I learned the hard way, because I did use all of their New Zealand currency over there. I still have a ton of it. I have coins, I have cash that I brought back, and it was just enough for me to be able to do the 2 weeks, but I probably could have saved a lot more money if I just used my card. So just so you guys know, I would really appreciate anybody that checks out my videos. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Everything that you guys do helps me to be able to grow this channel and to be able to grow my traveling. I do sell art pieces on the side that are going to help with certain funds so that I can go on more trips. For 2019, I'm going to Iceland, which is super exciting. I'm basically doing the same thing that I did in New Zealand, which is I'm getting a camper van and I'm living in it for 2 weeks, and I'm going to see everything I want to see, and I'm going to experience it and live my best life, which I think is how anybody should live. If you've got money, if you're healthy, if you're happy, and you really want to be out there and adventurous, then definitely follow along on my channel. I'm doing more and more videos like this. I'm going to be giving you guys more and more advice. I also have a blog that I sell my artwork on, and I talk about all of my travel experiences as they're happening, and I like to share fun stories with you guys. So any support that you guys give me is super helpful, and I would appreciate it. I just want to live my best life, and I just want to share it with you guys so that people that want to watch my videos and need help can also live their best lives. So definitely check out my blog. It's www.sdtraveler.org, and again, it's www.sdtraveler.org. No spaces, no capital letters, nothing fancy or fun like that, just literally straight up. I'm going to have also all of the links to everything down in the description below. I would really appreciate anybody who wants to check all of my stuff out. All of my art pieces at this time are 10% off of your entire purchase. So please go and click the link, check it out, and hopefully I will hear from some of you. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your support. Part 3 comes out in another couple of weeks, and then the New Zealand stuff will all be out there for you guys to enjoy. So thank you guys again. My name is SD Traveler, and I hope to hear from you guys. I hope you will support me and help me out. And thank you. Thank you all so much. See you in the next one.